Hi. Welcome back. This is our second segment of the topic on men and women, and we're going to be focusing on the healing between men and women instead of men versus women. So, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I'm Senzi.
I'm Lele. Sorry.
Just in case you have no idea who these people are.
Yeah.
And if you are watching this vlog, our advice is that go to the one before this.
Absolutely.
Because it then leads to the topic that we're now having.
Okay.
Which is focused on healing.
Like
Lily said.
Yeah. And this is meaningful conversations. Okay, so earlier on we were talking about men versus women, and how for I don't know if to say centuries now it's been like that, men versus women. Now we want to talk about healing. What healing needs to be there, my friend, between men and women and their relationships, how we're relating to each other.
Yeah. I think what led to us deciding to have this I want to use these words,
Use them, my friend.
No, but okay. Anyways, what led to us, deciding on, shooting this, because we just felt like it's vital, because we were talking about, why we at odds with one another, and then towards the end of the previous vlog, we were talking about the fact that, all of us are hurt. Men and women, we are hurt, and it's like, instead of actually just focusing on, yes, we are hurt, and giving each other love and comforting each other so that we can heal, we are constantly blaming who's hurting the other one the most. Healing. What does healing do to a person? What has healing done
for me?
For you?
Okay. First thing that it has done for me is helped me to see things from a clearer perspective. I know, okay, if you don't know, I'm divorced. I'm a single mom to a gorgeous young man. So when I was in the process of the divorce or the separation, there was a lot of animosity, there was a lot of resentment, and then I saw my ex-husband as the enemy. With healing, it has helped me to really understand some of the things he may have done from a different perspective, and it has helped me to forgive him and to understand that he's human. And things are wrong. A wrong thing is a wrong thing. I'm not saying, right now, all of a sudden, I'm saying wrong is
and excuses
and excusing, some of the behavior. Now, by that, I'm also including my behavior if there's any wrong that I've done or any wrong that I have done. So it has helped me to do that, to see things from a clearer perspective. It has helped me to access more areas in myself that need more healing.
Wow.
And it has helped me to be able to take responsibility for my actions and to function from a healthier perspective, because that's what healing is. It's related to the word health, and health comes from the word heal. Yeah, so for me, that's what it's done for me. And for you, my friend?
I think you to get to a point where you realize that you need healing. We're talking about it, that it starts off with anger and resentment, because wanting to yes, it is an acknowledgement of the wrong that has been done to you. But there has to, if you're going to move forward, then healing needs to take place. If you want to move forward. And I think all of us want to move forward from, anger, pain, resentment, that are obviously, the consequences of going through something traumatic. But what was amazing for me with this healing is that through the pursuit of wanting to heal, it allowed for me to see how damaged I was outside of the marriage. Period.
Absolutely.
As a being, I was already like broken, and then the marriage kind of like was the final nail on the coffin type of thing. But it was so intense and so painful that if I had remained in a state of pain and confusion and resentment, I would have then taken every single other thing that was not the baggage that came from the marriage and then just decided to just paint it as, this is the person that has broken me.
Yeah.
The truth is that the person found you broke.
Absolutely.
And then they just finished off the job. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so what it did is that then it allowed for me to be healed in areas that I would have neglected. And those areas were stealing from my life. And they were stealing from my purpose. And if I had not gone through the most broken part or time in my life, I would have not healed the already functioning or surviving Senzi that I was before I got married. Do you know what I mean? So in terms of that, now there's gratitude towards going through that broken area. Do I feel like I should have gotten a divorce to, experience it? No, absolutely not. I don't believe in divorce. As a matter of fact, I do believe that we could have probably gone through our healing together. Because obviously he also has his own healing that he had to go through, or I don't know, because we don't talk in those terms anymore. But what this, the starting and the committing to the healing process, what it did for me is that it allowed for me to see how broken I was even before the marriage. Marriage was just a magnifying glass, 2 cracks.
I love that. I love that because we tend to, it's easier to blame somebody for pain in your life.
It's so true.
Because apparently, allegedly, that we attract people that come as a result of our perception, things that we haven't healed from.
Yeah.
And apparently you attract the person that you are. So I think what I love about healing is, like I said, taking responsibility, and I think that's what you're saying. When you're talking about your marriage, and saying, if you have to be in a place where you take responsibility. When the other time we went to this old friend of mine just last week, and she was just, I just loved her vulnerability because she was just pouring
her
out.
heart out. Oh my God, so beautiful. Yeah.
But the beauty about that is that one of the first things that she said was that she listed her faults.
Yeah.
She listed where she went wrong.
Yeah.
And it just was a beautiful thing to see. And I feel like we are in a generation where it's a best foot forward type of thing. You have to look good. Instagram, there's that thing,
filter,
filtering and whatever. Not that we don't like it, because
but there has to be realness to it.
But there has to be realness to it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. The tricky part about it is that, like, and we've said it in our previous videos, that sometimes you have to sit in the pain. Part of healing is the pain.
Yeah.
And if not somebody has stuck a knife on us, okay, how sadistic is that? If something, this is South Africa. If is something, they have to pull it out. You can't just leave it in there. You have to pull that thing out from under your skin and then allow the healing to take place. Taking that thing out is painful, but it's the only option that you're gonna heal. Maybe this is not the best example, but I think you get what I'm trying to say.
It's like pus.
It's like pus or cancer.
Yeah.
That's what people usually use, that you have to cut it out. You have to cut out that cancerous part, that cell that's not growing
yeah, that is actually growing against. It's actually killing you.
Yes.
And it's survival.
It depends on
yes. Its survival depends on your death.
Exactly. Basically. Just like anger.
Yeah.
Just like mistrust. Just like broken relationships. Just like the patterns that we are perpetuating in society. The things that we're saying, don't catch feelings. Like, I have a problem with that personally. I don't understand. This thing don't trust, no, and I'm not getting in a relationship with somebody I don't trust. I'm so sorry.
Or do not expect anything.
Do not expect
expectations. What kills is that you've got too much expectations.
Yeah. So for me, it's either all of me or nothing.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Because in the all or nothing, I feel like it's a safer place for me to grow and for you to grow.
Exactly.
I want to offer my partner a safe space for them to be the best version of themselves. And I would like for them to offer me that, So I don't understand if we're getting into things, so put in a little effort. I mean, we did acknowledge some of the healing will come from the person that you're going to meet.
Yes.
We're not so idealistic to believe all of the healing. I will experience it on my own. So that's what we're saying. As men and women also, there needs to be healing between how we're treating one another.
Absolutely. And I just want to add to what you said, and I want to dwell on it a bit because I feel like it is vital and it's crucial in the healing process. When you are still holding on to what hurt you, you're not going to get to a point where you heal.
Absolutely.
It's real. Yes, you're hurt.
Yeah.
At some point, you need to heal. But that is a decision you make. Everything else that happened, you probably were, some of it, you were directly, involved in the pain that came from that experience. But obviously there are some parts where you are not responsible for the pain that you had to then later deal with as a consequence. However, then you are now responsible for the decision of what that takes place after all of that has been done. And I'm basing it on what I went through. At some point, I remember you came to me and we were busy talking about the pain, and then you said to me, my friend, you realize at some point we're going to have to stop talking about this. Did I say that? You said that. You're like, I think it's been enough. Sure. You realize at some point we're going to have to stop talking about this and start talking about different things.
Sure.
And the perpetuation of the hurt is exactly like that hurt that you have where it has been done to you, yes. But now you have to decide to take the knife out or continue with the knife on or in. And to a certain extent, because the knife has been in, you have grown desensitized to the pain that the knife, in the beginning it was painful. After a while, you've gotten, used to living. You've been desensitized to that type of itch, to that type of pain, to that type of burden. But then in order to go and experience something different, you need to start doing something different. And I remember when we started talking about something different, it felt unnatural a little bit at first because it was not our reality at the time. Do you understand what I'm saying? But there was a process where we wanted to experience something outside of the pain that was bringing life to us. And it feels unnatural because everything around you denies it. You know, it's like your situation, your circumstances, your friends, everybody's denying, because right now, right here, you're in pain, girl. And it kind of is difficult to have to battle the reality that you see, you know. And for me, I just feel like that is why it's important to be grounded on something. Faith is what grounded us, and we share the same faith. So, you know, for us, we were anchored by faith, you know. And what is important with us, and what faith says to us in a situation like that, is that the righteous shall live by faith and not by sight. So it's countercultural constantly, you know. What faith requires out of us is what you do not see. You create what you want to see, you know. And that is what was the encouragement behind us now wanting different. But then we had to know what we wanted different. What we started dreaming anew.
Yeah.
We started having new dreams on, I might not have experienced this, even in my family.
Yeah.
But this is what I desire for myself.
Absolutely.
As a woman, this is what I desire for myself. As a mother, this is what I desire for myself. You know, in a partner, this is what I desire. And it is so amazing that the process of commitment is necessary for healing to take place, right? Because you need to commit to it. Because there are times, you know, with commitment says that you are going to go through the process even when you don't want to and you don't feel like it.
Wow. That is so deep, actually.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Um,
And that's what we did.
absolutely.
We went through it even when at some point we were like, nah, tired.
Yeah.
And we would take our breaks sometimes.
Yeah.
We would be like, nah, you know what?
Shut
this
up.
needs us to go, Abba. And that's what we did.
Used to let our hair down.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm tired. Self-reflection and getting all deep in my emotion, because it's tiring. Getting vulnerable with yourself is the most exhausting thing that I have to do. Yo, man, you know. But yeah.
I wanted to say on that point, Jorge, also, because sometimes, you know, we bring it to sort of like a practical sense that, okay, you know, you spoke about pain and how you need to sit in it and whatever. But the thing is, as much as you need to choose, like, to see something beyond what's happening now, I need you to understand that pain is real. I don't want us to think that you need to feel it for a few hours, then move and
Like
whatever.
Hollywood.
Yeah, like Hollywood. Yo,
I'm
one
so
day
hurt.
we'll talk about
So
Hollywood.
I forgot about that person.
Yeah,
Doesn't work out.
it doesn't work out. I think it's also, you need to allow yourself to, because I feel like I went through a process where I was, you know, when you're hurt by somebody that you love, right? And I remember thinking, I used to think that I would never take something like this in my life, and as I was a younger person. And I'm still young, relatively.
Well, that's what you say, younger.
Yeah. So I used to feel like, oh my word, I used to be ashamed that I'm loving somebody who's hurt me.
Yeah.
Until I realized that I need to also allow myself the time and the right pace to heal and get over something. Like, I literally didn't move. I didn't move until those feelings were the feeling of moving. My thoughts and my emotions and the state of being that I was in would allow me to move gracefully, not forcefully, you know.
Not substituting.
I'm not substituting. I didn't substitute, you know. So I stayed in that moment where I had to acknowledge what I'm ashamed of loving somebody who has caused me pain, you know, and allow those thoughts to be there and take them to my father and be like, I don't know how to exist in this. And I didn't lie to myself. Like, I didn't fake it till I made it.
Like, I ain't got feelings. Like,
I didn't lie and focus more on the anger.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we focus on how angry we are, and we make decisions from that perspective, because anger makes you feel powerful, but it's actually not.
And it fuels pride.
It fuels pride. So I remember thinking, I need to allow myself. I'm not going to force myself. I need to be kind to myself. I'm not going to push myself to move when I'm not ready to move,
Yeah.
And I'm not going to try and get somebody to make me feel better, about the state that I'm in, yeah. So I stayed in that place that felt shameful. And I'm not saying that everybody's going to go through the process the way that I'm doing. And pain is pain. We are talking about it from a perspective of being people who got divorced. But pain is pain. You could be experiencing loss of work or whatever, or friendship.
Or a loved one.
Or a loved one. Role mourning is like on another level, But marriage, divorce is also you mourning the family unit that you had, and
Because it's death to it.
It's death to it. So yeah, I wanted to address that. I'm not talking about pain. I mean anger, because anger is something different. Yes, there are moments where you get angry, and allow yourself to get angry, but do not allow it to be your force of movement from then on. And that's why it's important, because if you're gonna get advice from somebody who hasn't healed, they're going to advise you from the place from which they are at. So it's important when you're seeking advice, seek input from different people in terms of how to progress, but look at the person themselves, how they hold, because advice comes from you, from that person, So speaking of men as well, if somebody doesn't have a good relationship with men, they're going to advise you from that perspective, and so it's a very tricky thing, healing, but I feel like it's important to give yourself time to heal. Like we treat external injuries with such care, but internal ones are just as painful, as intense, and even more, because the nature of our society right now, some of the things that we might not like to see are based on internal pain that people cannot see. Those gender-based violence situations, if we really search for the root of them, is internal pain. It's not something that you can see and be like, how can that guy be a rapist? That person is injured inside, As much as we want to say men are whatever, I don't know what they say, but the truth of the matter is that most of the things that we see, our social ills, are based on internal injuries that we have never really dealt with.
Accumulated through time, and kind of like carried over from one generation to the next. And the truth is that also a reality is a reality, depending on how you are going to view your reality. My reality is that love exists and it's powerful. My reality is that there are good people and there's goodness in everybody. Just like there's this horrible darkness in every one of us. Right? So for me, it boils down to the fact that care and cater for your journey. Our entrance and our exit involves the one vehicle or the one vessel. Clearly, everything else that kind of like will contribute or whatever is in the process of dealing with the one vessel. It's an individual's journey. Do you understand what I'm saying? And there has to be care. I think there has to be like stewardship over caring for that vessel, and if I'm going to be caught up on everything and be distracted, I'm losing focus from the core responsibility that I have, which is this body that I have been borrowed and everything else that it has to face. And the bigger scheme of things, every single thing becomes null and void when you close your eyes and you are taken to the graveside. Even things that were seen as, you know what, these things are unforgivable. And you know what, this thing is undoable. And you know what, forgiving that person is impossible. And then you close your eyes and then you die. And then life continues. Do you see what I'm saying? And the reason why I mentioned that is that when I was going through the divorce, I lost my mom and my grandmother 6 months apart whilst in that period.
Sure.
And it really allowed for me to take a deep introspection, self-introspection and self-reflection that, you know, at one point there are all these meaningful things and meaningful people and meaningful ways of identifying myself. I identified myself through these different aspects of my life that were now dead.
Imagine that.
Do you see what I'm saying? And it was like, who am I then? And I think we are scared to be exposed to the fact that we don't know who we are. We are running away from actually getting to a point of identifying ourselves, because there are certain things that are dying around us and that are dying within us that we used to see or deem them their importance as a priority of what life means for us. And then they die. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that death can just be an opportunity for a rebirth.
Absolutely, I see what you're saying right there. And I long for a rebirth of a society where men and women just really see each other from a healthy perspective, because no matter what we do and we say, and that's why there's so much anger really, because we need each other.
We do.
In spite of or despite of the things that we're saying about each other, there's still people looking for relationships in whatever context, whether it's situationships, friends with benefits. Like at the end of the day,
we're still going after each other.
we're still going after each other.
You know what I mean?
No one is giving up. It's like, okay, I give up. But the sad thing is that the giving up is the one that is more important, because, you know, I was listening to somebody saying, you know, a guy relating to their first heartache, and he says that made him close his heart because he wasn't going to allow anyone to mess up with that. And the thing about that, and that's what we were talking about men earlier on, when a man closes their heart, it doesn't mean I'm going to open tomorrow. For them, it's like, no, there are 10 hoops and you have to go through all of them to get to my heart. With us, I might have 10 hoops. I'm sorry, ladies, if I'm wrong. Mara, the moment the guy presses some certain buttons, they come down from being 10 to being 5, because you're like, yo, no, 10 was just too much. Let me just take it down because this guy's just doing the right things. In the meantime, he's thinking, okay, I'm happy with this, Mara, there's still 7 more hoops left. Then. And you might be in a relationship and you're still thinking, we're in a relationship, but girl, it's because you've just passed the 5 hoops, right? You still... Imagine having to access the heart of somebody that you think that you are in love with. You know,
you think
you're in love with. And I'm just saying, More, you know, to guys, please cut us some slack as well. A woman is designed in a way that she knows when she doesn't have access to your heart, and
it's you feel it.
You feel it, and they will be breaking their backs to try and get to the heart. You know, or they will also excuse themselves, and it will be just a situationship where we call a relationship
situationship,
and we're just calling each other, say, hi babe, how you doing? We're vibing, we're vibing, but there's nothing really deep.
It's empty.
And who doesn't want something real? You know,
who doesn't
want it?
Who doesn't?
Now we want something real, but none of us want to be real towards other people. That is so unfair. That's why I decided I'm going to be real with you, whether you're in a relationship with me or not, so that when you walk away,
you met me,
and you know that there is a real person. Do you understand?
That's true.
Even in my mistakes, I'll be real. Even I'll be real in everything. People who have experienced me know that when I mess up, I will say I'm sorry, and I will explain. I'll be vulnerable with my feelings, even if we are not in a relationship. Why? Not because I'm taken up or whatever. It's because I've decided that, listen, I know who loves me, and I know he doesn't run out of love. Therefore, I'm not going to run out of love. I'll be discouraged sometimes. I'll be hurt. I'll feel dejected. I'll feel rejected. But I know that I will get up again because my source of love is continual. The one who's given me love doesn't run out of it.
It's true.
So I'm going to be okay again. And once I'm okay again, I will be able to give the love that I think I deserve or I want, or whatever the case, I don't know. But we have to be willing to be what we want. We have to.
And that's what healing affords you.
So let's heal so that we can be the best for each other, men and women.
That's what healing affords you. Healing affords you freedom. It affords you to exist as how you truly were created to exist as.
Beautiful.
That is what freedom gives you.
Sure.
And then it's like, I found the crux of my existence, and that's purpose, right?
Yeah.
And when you find purpose, gosh, you can only give from there on, because there's just this gratitude that comes from being whole, because that's that. And I was just listening to Dr. Marsman the other time. He was talking about holy. The fact that we say God is holy means that He is whole, and the Bible says that be holy, for I am holy. We are created in His image. That is why we will constantly be battling, because the identity thing is sharper, because we are created from a holy image. You will never be satisfied by anything else until you get to a place where you are whole. And it's easy to be blaming people and situations and stuff and whatever, but at the end of the day, because you see, the thing is how you see that it is not about the situations, and maybe the situations have been crafted in such a way that they are actually leading you to a seeking of wholeness. Even if those things had to be deducted out of your life, you will still feel as bad as you feel before they happened.
Until you
and
heal.
then after they happen, until you are restored
Yes, that's
to
true.
your truth.
That's true. Until you heal, the situations and the circumstances will come in a different form. You will have the same guy you've been running away from because you haven't healed. You'll have the same woman
And the same situations around.
You have the same situations until you heal from them. So on that note,
give us a comment. Tell us, what you have battled with and what has been your journey to healing, if you finally got to that space. With us sharing this is our opinions shared from our own life experiences. They are not a guideline. They're not a template on what things should be done.
absolutely.
But however, we are imparting what has helped us to be beings that can finally be in a space where, there is a consciousness of your existence, So on that note,
comment, like, subscribe, share,
notification button.
From Lele
And Senzi.
we're signing out. Meaningful conversations. Heal.